Today we're reading the Bible story, and it's about Elijah. And here's Lana, who I'm going to read to. Okay? So far from the cities of Judah and Israel, out in the rugged, unsettled region of Gilead, Elijah grew to manhood. Like John the Baptist, who lived in the same place years afterward, he knew nothing of life's comforts. Food was scarce. Clothes were hard to get. His only luxury was talking with God. Many times he must have wondered why God did not do something about all the wickedness in the land. Many times he must have looked up into right? Many times he must have looked up into the skies and cried, "How long, O Lord? How long?" Then at last God spoke. God answered his prayer. God answered his prayer. And then at last God spoke, as he always does when his time has come. God spoke. Just like you're going to speak when your time has come. Meaning when you're old enough. But God speaks when he's ready. Okay? He told Elijah to go to Ahab, now king of Israel. And tell him that because of his sins, a great drought would come upon the country. That there would be neither dew nor rain for years. I know. No rain. I know. Can you believe that? I know you like the rain, right? It was not a pleasant message to take to the king, but fearlessly Elijah set out to deliver it. Without a thought of danger to himself... Oh. Lana. Without a thought to himself, he made his way over the mountain trails to Samaria, where Ahab had set up his new capital and built a temple to Baal. Arriving in the city, he walked up the busy main street that led to the palace on the hill. What? You don't like this story? Huh? It's a good story. I know you like it. Well, just wait and see what happens. Wait and see what happens. Arriving in the city, he walked up the busy main street that led to the palace on the hill. Passing the guards at the gate, he entered the hall where the king was sitting on his throne, with many couriers around him. Oh, you're doing great, Lana. You're doing great. I'll tell you what happened. You have to wait and see. Arriving in the city, he walked up the... Quickly, all eyes turned to the stranger who had suddenly appeared in their midst. Who was this man dressed in a rough garment of haircloth and a girdle of leather? What was he doing in the king's court? Oh, yeah, I know, right? Soon the prophet's voice, strong and powerful, rang upon the ears of the assembly. What is he going to say? Do you remember? As the Lord God of Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word. What happened next we are not told, but there must have been quite a stir. Is the man mad? Ahab may have well said. Does he think he can control the dew and the rain? Does he think his God is stronger than Baal? At this his couriers laughed, jeering at Elijah as he made his way to the door and disappeared. But Elijah's warning was no laughing matter. The dry weather began just as he said it would. Day after day, the sun beat down upon the parched land out of a cloudless sky. There was no dew by night nor rain by day. Soon the whole countryside took on a deep brown hue. Not a green blade of grass was to be seen anywhere. Cattle roamed far and wide looking for something to eat. Streams ran dry. The water level in wells dropped alarmingly as autumn failed to bring the rainy season. The land was almost too hard to plow. Farmers sowed seed they had saved from the grain crop of the year before, but it hardly began to grow before it shriveled up. Oh no, Lana, all the crops are dying, right? There's no rain. Winter came and passed, and still there was no rain. People watched the clouds in vain. They passed over, left, and no moisture. The usual spring harvest failed to appear. Now cattle began to die by hundreds. The bodies of bony cows, sheep, and goats lay unburied for the crows and buzzards to eat. Oh no. Everybody was worried now, from the king in his palace to the humblest shepherd on the hills. Yeah, Lana, it's scary, huh? All knew that they were facing starvation and ruin, but instead of praying to God, they've turned to Baal, Ashtoreth, and Moloch. Send us rain, they cried to their idols, but no rain came. Another blazing summer passed, another scorching autumn, another winter of rainless clouds passing overhead. Would there never be an end to this dreadful drought? People wondered. Must Palestine turn into a desert? Many times King Ahab thought about the man who had come to see him in his palace, the man who had claimed to be a prophet of Jehovah and said there would be no dew nor rain unless he said so. Perhaps he did know how to control the weather. Oh. Perhaps he was able to keep rain from falling on the earth. Where was he? He must be found at all costs. He must be made to break the spell he had put on the country. Do you know where he is? Do you know where Elijah was? Let's find out. So a price was put on Elijah's head. Others went out that he was brought to Samaria at once. Orders went out that he be brought to Samaria at once. But nobody could find him. He had disappeared. He was gone. Growing more and more desperate, the king sent messengers to Egypt, to Syria, to Mesopotamia, seeking Elijah. There was in fact no nation or kingdom where they did not go in search of him. As the messengers returned, they all told the same story. They had failed their mission. There was no trace of Elijah anywhere. Nobody had seen him or heard of him. Where could he be, Lana? Where could he be? Oh, I see. You're just drooling with anticipation. Yeah. Yet he wasn't far away, not very far at all, and God knew where he was all the time. You know where he was? You know where he was? Well, that's the end of this chapter. You have to listen next time to see what happened. I'll tell you a secret. He was there the whole time. He was hiding out in the caves. Is that incredibly ingenious or what? Did you like the story? Yeah? Did you? Yeah, well, thank you. I'm glad to share the story with you. I love you, Lana.